So when we talk about the normalization of relations with Israel, there have been big inroads, but there are roadblocks even today. So as we shift our focus to Levant in today's program, where the dramatic diplomatic question is being asked for the first time in decades, that will Syria normalize relations with Israel? While full recognition might still be out of reach, but there have been talks between the two nations and are really underwent, they could lead to the first real peace framework in over half a century amongst these two countries. And when we talk about the backdrop, is that Syria's brutal civil war has effectively ended the fall of Bashar al-Assad in December 2024. After more than a decade of conflict has brought a new government under the president Ahmed al-Shara al-Julani, which is now resetting Syria's foreign policy. And let's see what is actually high on the agenda, which is restoring Syria's economy, rebuilding its image, and navigating its most complicated relationship of all with Israel. According to multiple sources who are actually related to this matter, there have been direct talks between Syria and Israel, and they have been facilitated through another Middle East partner, and Israeli media, the Lebanese daily Al-Akhbar, and sources close to the new Syrian leadership all confirm that discussions are progressing and may lead to a non-aggression pact or updated ceasefire amongst the two countries. The United States of America's President Donald Trump, who lifted sanctions on Syria in May and remains deeply involved in Middle East diplomacy, reportedly urged Syria to actually normalize ties with Israel. The move is seen as part of an expanded Abraham Accords that we talked about in our intro, and this can be called an Abraham Accords 2.0, aimed at reshaping the region through economic incentives and United States brokered deals. And we also talked about another deal that the US brokered recently that was also a complex span over decades in Africa. But here's the sticking amongst the two nations, the Golan Heights. Actually, because Israel occupies Golan, which is a territory seized in the 1967 war and expanded into after Assad's fall. Around about 31,000 Israeli settlers live there today illegally. Syria, even though its new leadership has not abandoned its claim to the Golan, and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has made it clear there will be no return from there. Analysts say on this matter that most likely the outcome in the short term is not full recognition, but a limited peace agreement cannot be ruled out. One that would actually halt Israeli strikes, demilitarize southern Syria, and reopen trade corridors. Israel wants security guarantees, no Iranian or Turkish military presence, and an end to basically support for the Palestinian resistant groups. The support for the Palestinian groups, an end to it, actually seems very improbable as of today. Syria, for its part, wants an end to the Israeli air raids, withdrawal from newly occupied Syrian border towns, and a return to the 1974 disengagement lines. But Damascus may have to tread carefully through this matter. Normalizing ties with Israel remains politically explosive, especially with Palestine still under heavy siege and Golan families still displaced. So with Israel's war crimes and the impact it has had on the society, this is going to be difficult. And there's also a sectarian angle, because Israel has threatened to intervene in southern Syria under the guise of protecting the Druze minority amid tensions between the new government and the local faction. Many Druze leaders have rejected Israeli involvement as a cynical attempt to sow discord, even if they remain wary of Damascus. When we talk about the White House, it has welcomed Syria's outreach, with its US officials saying that they're monitoring whether Syria actually will take concrete steps towards peace with Israel or crack down on the so-called foreign terrorists and distance itself from the Palestinian resistance groups. So this will be an interesting stage, because the pieces are certainly moving. Syria is no longer Assad's playground. It's basically a contested geopolitical chessboard, while full normalization, again, we say that with Israel is still unlikely, but a strategic ceasefire, economic cooperation, or a soft recognition framework could still emerge in months ahead. So we will continue to talk ahead, because much depends on Israel's willingness to de-escalate and Syria's ability to maintain sovereignty.
सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल दबाएं ताकि कोई खबर रह न जाए।